breaking out, I'm breaking in. I just can't help this state I'm in. I'm on my way, y'all. So put your shades on, this light's so bright, it's blinding. I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love. Breaking free, I'm breaking ground. I can't explain this thing I found. The clouds have moved on, I got my groove on. This pep in my steps infectious. I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love. I've been stuck in a rut, I've been shit out of luck. I've been wondering what is up with me. And then I realized it's up to me to decide. I can just be radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love.
You. It's all about you. You are an irresistible magnet with the power to attract unto yourself everything, absolutely everything and anything you desire. Isn't that great? Isn't that great to know? I tell you that every week because it's true. I tell you that every week because it is a fact. And every week, like I am right now, I welcome you to the New Thought Spiritual Center Sunday celebration. I'm Reverend Jay Willick. I'm the senior minister here at NTSC, and we are so thrilled that you have decided to bring your consciousness here with us. Bring your energy through the internet, through the ethers of the universe to our celebration, to our community. So thrilled to have you. So thrilled today. We have a brand new song from Steve Apperson. Reverend Gary Altman will be our sacred reader today, which is always inspiring as he brings his wisdom and his humor and his great brain, his great new thought brain into our service every morning, every Sunday morning. Well, every morning too, if you just watch this over and over again, which you can right here on my personal page or on the New Thought Spiritual Center page or on YouTube as well. So what's the New Thought Spiritual Center all about? Why are you here Sunday? Why are you watching this guy? What are our statements of principles? Watch this and you'll see. Oh, yeah, that's what we're all about here. This year, we are awakening to it. We are awakening our minds, our bodies, our hearts, our guts to that divine that is within each and every one of us. That's our 2021 theme. And this month in July, our theme is embody it. Embody it. How do you embody this thing? This thing called the divine, this thing called the universe, spirit, whatever you want to call it. How do you embody it? Well, we talk about that all month in July. Last week, this week, and the next 2 weeks coming up. So we want to highlight every month one of our statement of principles. And this month we are highlighting our vision statement, which is vibrate at the speed of the divine. Oh, the at word is a little gone there, but it's on there. It's just out of frame. Vibrate at the speed of the divine. And you can see a little bit of the quote that I put on our Vibrate banner. And it says, the eye with which I see God is the same eye with which God sees me. And that was written by Meister Eckhart, who was a middle ages, not middle age. He might have been middle-aged when he wrote this, but Middle Ages Catholic mystic, Meister Eckhart. Read his stuff, some great stuff. The eye with which I see God is the same with which God sees me. It's all one. We are unified with this power, this presence that we call God, we call the divine, we call by many names. But it reveals itself in each and every one of us. We individualize that power. I'm going to talk a lot about that later in my talk this morning. But first, let's do a spiritual mind treatment. A spiritual mind treatment is an affirmative prayer, a prayer where we affirm the revelation, the declaration of what it is we are bringing into our life in that moment, what it is we want to demonstrate or manifest into our lives. So let's do one. Let's close our eyes. You don't have to. You only close your eyes if it's comfortable for you. It doesn't necessarily make the prayer any more powerful. The power of the prayer comes in your awareness of it, your awakening to it, your openness to it in heart, in mind, and in gut. So close your eyes if it's comfortable for you. Take a deep breath with me. Let it out. And this is what we know. This is what we always know, that there is one mind. There is one power in the universe, and that power, that energy, some call it the Big Bang, some call it God, some call it the divine. That power is within each and every one of us. We individualize that. We personalize that energy, that power right here, right now. And so with that unifying nature, we step forth into awakening that which is within each and every one of us, that which is individualized in each and every one of us. We reveal that in our daily lives. We reveal that in the thoughts and feelings we express. We reveal that in the imagination, where we envision our next journey, our next adventure, our next step in life. And so I declare and reveal right now that each and every one of us awakens to this power, reveals this power right here, right now, and forevermore. And in this revelation, we bring more love, more creativity, more health, more vibrancy, more of what we desire into our lives. We're doing it now. We're doing it with the power and presence of that which is within each and every one of us. And we're doing it with gratitude and appreciation, knowing that the universe always says yes. The law of cause and effect, the law of attraction, whatever you want to call it, of reflection, always says yes. And so it comes forth into our lives, starting right now. As together we say, and so it is. And you know what? Let's keep our eyes closed or at a soft focus if that's where they are. And let's step into our sacred space. Take a deep breath. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and let it out. Hear the bells. At this time, we enter into our sacred space, opening our heart and mind to awaken the highest and deepest part of our divine self. We plant the seeds of our greatest adventure, nurturing them with water of faith and the soil of spirit, calling in wisdom from ancient times to quantum science. And so we now transcend time and space into the grace, love, and power of the universe. Put your feet on the floor and maybe sit cross-legged. We want to be in a position of accepting the energy from the universe and from the Mother Gaia. You might want to imagine a grounding cord, a laser beam, something like that, dropping from the base of your spine to the center of the earth, so that we connect to the Mother Gaia. We connect to this planet we are upon intentionally, and then allow that energy to come up through the rock, up through the ground, up through the grass, up through the foundation of where you are sitting upon, and coming into contact with our body through our feet, past our calves, our knees, our thighs, and connecting to that grounding cord at the base of our spine, so that this energy from the Mother Gaia, from this planet Earth, circulates. You can feel that vibration. And breathe deep and slow. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Allow from all around you, though it may feel like it's coming down from the top of to the top of your head, past your face, the energy of the cosmos, like the rays of the sun falling upon you. Allow this energy to vibrate throughout your body, down your arms, past your fingers, past your heart, glowing as it flows down to reach that circulation of Mother Earth's energy. Oh, your body is vibrating, your body is revealing this energy, this power, this illumination. This morning I want us to contemplate a divine feminine card. Many of you know once in a while I like to bring these into our guided meditation. This morning I randomly chose a card, and it is for Anandamayi Ma. Anandamayi Ma, the joy-permeated mother. When she says, I am my own guru, I know the self that never changes. The joy-permeated mother represents the essence of the expansive joy that comes when we remember our true self. Nirmala Sundari, which means beautiful one in Bengali, was born in the late 19th century, which is now Bangladesh. At 26, She enacted her own spiritual initiation. The ceremony and rites were spontaneously revealed to her from within. She once said, "As the master, I revealed the mantra of the disciple. I accepted it and started to recite it." In the 1920s, she set up a Kali temple and devoted her life to spiritual practices, recognizing as the living embodiment of the divine feminine and as the incarnation of Kali as divine love. There's a passage in the autobiography of the yogi by Yogananda that relates an encounter he had with Anandame Ma. He asks her why she is always filled with joy and can enter states of bliss instantly. She explains to him that she's aware of her true self. She knows that before she came to Earth, she was the same. As a little girl, and later when she grew into a woman, still she was the same. And now sitting in front of Yogananda, she remains the same. And even after death, she says, "Though the dance of creation changes around me, I shall be the same." There's a deep, calm, abiding joy that arrives when we can emerge with the aspect of us that never changes. What does joy feel like in your body, my friends? What does joy feel like in your body? Joy. 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 I am my own guru, for I know the self that never changes. Let us take a deep breath together, through the nose and out through the mouth. Release, know, breathe in. God is, and release through your mouth. I am. You are. I am. We are. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe shimmy your shoulders a little bit. Slowly open your eyes. And here we are back in our space. How was that? Wasn't that fabulous? I want to show you a picture of Anandamayi Ma. Yeah. Get that close. Great picture. Look at that joy. Look at that joy in her face. Love the Divine Feminine Oracle cards from Megan Watterson. Well, like I said earlier, we are very fortunate once again to have Reverend Gary Oltman with us as our sacred reader. And we're back in, is he there? Oh, there he is, stretching.
Yeah, I was in my power. I ended that meditation in my power pose because something came up in my mind during it, and I'm gonna probably circle back to that in a moment.
Okay. Oh, sounds great. My friends, Reverend Gary Oltman, enjoy.
Good morning, everyone. Probably the next time I see you might be in our new location live in August. So let's look forward to that. We'll be on the internet and live in our new location soon. So hope I didn't steal Jay's thunder there by saying that, but it just came up for me. Here's a story for us. There was a Tibetan saint named Milarepa, and the story goes he was peacefully meditating in his cave. And all of a sudden, these demons appeared. Greed, fear, anger. They were terrifying. The flesh hung from their bones, and they smelled foul. They held bloody knives and swords. And Milarepa simply looked up and said, "Ah, I've been expecting you. Come, sit by my fire, have tea." They said, "Aren't you afraid of us?" He said, No. Your hideous appearance only reminds me to be aware and have mercy. Come, sit by the fire and have tea." Well, I just love this story. I often think of it when something comes up in my mind that I'm fearful of and that I have the opportunity to think differently about it. You know, we all have these triggers in our mind that comes up that give us an opportunity to either have tea with it or run in fear from it. The problem is when we run in fear, often a thing just chases us and it's just relentless. And during the meditation, I was thinking about hiking, and this thought came through my mind. It's like when you're, God forbid, there's a mountain lion in front of you. I don't think you're supposed to turn and run from it. I think what you're supposed to do is make yourself bigger. Make yourself bigger. And that is supposed to neutralize the situation, and you're supposed to be safe. So let's make our consciousness bigger than what that thing is that comes before us, because we have something within us that is infinite, that created created the mountain lion. It created me. It created us to share this earth. It created me to know how to live with it in harmony. So as long as we observe these things that are going in our mind, maybe just sit down, invite them in for tea, and just let them know that they are powerless over us. That, there's a new sheriff in town, that we're now in charge of our mind. Remember at all times that we have this thing that is bigger within us than the biggest beast. And then we can just simply show those things to the door and bid them farewell. I remember back years ago now, drinking was intruding in my life way too much and preventing me from living more fully. And, when I was resolving this, I was often tell people that oh, you know what? I drank my lifetime quota way too quickly. So now, I'm done with it. I just drank that quota way too fast. So nothing left. But I was sitting in a class at the NoHo Art Center for New Thought, where I took my ministerial training and a lot of my different classes. And I remember we were all doing this meditation. We were deep in meditation. And I was sitting there, and all of a sudden, this like large, I don't know, maybe wolf type animal appears before me in my mind. And then I sat with it, and then all of a sudden, this thing just turned into a little puppy. And then it just turned around, walked away, and right out the door of the room. And right there, that was that demon leaving me. And I turned, and I knew I was done. We had some closure. There was there's a lot of work to be done after that, but the work became easier and less time consuming. So a new life had begun. So I have a reading today, and I'm going to my little Bible, this little book, this thing called You, written by Ernest Holmes, who, founded the New Thought teaching of Science of Mind. And in this book, he wrote, "It is neither the power, the presence, nor the law that you lack. If you do lack anything, it is a consciousness and an inner spiritual awareness. This consciousness is a thing of thought and conviction, is a thing of faith and understanding. No one can give this to you but yourself. And if you have it, no one can take it away from you." And he wrote this little thing after that says, "Truth lives forevermore at the center of my being. I know that the faith that walked over the troubled waters of human experience 2,000 years ago is at the center of my own being. I know that the inner calm that stilled the tempest is accessible to me today. I know that the truth within me is always triumphant." Let's jump right into the affirmation or incantation for today. It may pop up there on the screen. I have it here too. We share these every week, and they're really great to refer back to during the week. Jay writes these, and they are just beautiful. And here's today's. Let's look at this and read it together, or you can just listen to me and take it in. I embody the body of the divine presence. I embody the chassis of truth. I recognize and personify my universal essence and listen to its wisdom through my internal Bluetooth. I am powerful. I can choose. I anoint me my own guru. And as my own teacher and guide, I tap fully and completely into the ancient, modern, and infinite of the wise. Venerable, admirable, receiving the best advice, constructive actions are all I materialize. This day, I embody the heaven within and fill my day with joy and all its synonyms. Oh, I like cinnamon too. All right. Let's just take it a little deeper for a moment. Let's take these words that we've shared and heard so far. Let them just wash over us as beautiful affirmations of a life that we want to live. And as I speak these words, I speak them for each of us, knowing that that as we fully embrace that power that is within us, that truth, that center of our being that is within each of us, That powerful thing is all within us. There's interesting, that thing is the same. It is the same across the universe, the sameness, but we individualize it through our understanding of it in each moment, through our connection with it, through our understanding of our beingness. We take that sameness, that greatness that is already there within us, and we decide how to use it. We decide how it will show up in our life. We are our guru. We are our master of our experience. And I know that each of us is guided through their consciousness, through their mind, through their individual recognition of this power to choose what serves their lives, our lives, perfectly. And knowing that this choice never, ever steps on another person's choice. We do this together, individually, uniquely, but in harmony with all. We live fully, we live healthily, we live prosperously. All those choices support that. All our actions move toward that. And the actions of the others, because we know they are in love. And anything that is chosen in love supports the whole. Thank you, Spirit, for this truth. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this teaching. It has allowed me to stand here in this moment and recognize that I am powerful, that you are powerful, and that the law is working through each of us, moving us into a greater expression of life. And so it is.
Yeah, and so it is. Oh, Gary, great. Oh, geez, so fortunate to have you. Also, one of my favorite books, this thing called You.
Yeah.
Love that book. And everybody notice Gary's fabulous new haircut.
Yeah, you do, yeah. I'm still working with it. It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress.
Yesterday, yeah.
I have no worry of that anymore.
Just like our life, a work in progress.
That's right. Thanks, Gary. We'll stick around. I may need you for some prayer later on.
Okay.
So next we have some music. Now, we are fortunate, just like we're fortunate to have Reverend Gary with us, to have Steve Apperson. Steve Apperson, as many of you know, is the one who usually directs our broadcast every Sunday, and every month, for months and months and months now, over a year, he has been writing a new song for the New Thought Spiritual Center based on my talk title or things we've been talking about, et cetera, et cetera. And this month is no different. He's written a new song called Don't Hold Back. And so here he is, my friends, Steve Apperson.
Good morning, everyone. We go live here from Apperson Hall. And book You is my favorite. Ernest. You reach deep down inside, make sure your heart is wide and alive. Real easy to misplace tracks of time. It gets misleading when you react from behind. What lies ahead will always be your treasured lore. What you keep right now is the precious truth you must keep sure. It's real easy to dismiss rather than convey. It's compelling to the heart rather than just slip away. It's easy to avoid learning what you need to know. Easier to be destroyed when someone says it can't be so. Stop lying to yourself. Look in the mirror. Stop trying to make things look like something else. Stop denying your peace to your emotional wealth. Stop emphasizing what you refuse to see. Stop compromising what you choose can or cannot be. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. You gotta give it your all. Yeah, you can't hold back. Then you have to let go. Then take charge. Allow the truth in. Then loom large. Don't hold back. We all have a choice to view things as they are. We can take a closer look or misjudge from afar. We can wish, bitch, and speculate upon some shining stars. Taste acceptance from your wholehearted love. Never question intent, you're being strong enough. Stop lying to yourself. Stop realizing the truth can be found somewhere else. Stop trying to change the stakes of your commonwealth. Stop denying your conditions of fear. Stop lying about the resistance that you put here. Don't hold back. Yeah, don't hold back. Stop lying to yourself. Don't hold back. Stop lying to yourself, and you can heal. Stop lying to yourself, so you can reveal. It's real easy to misplace tracks of time. It's real easy when you react from behind. What lies ahead will always be your treasured lure. What you keep right now's the precious gift you must keep pure. Don't hold back. Happy 11th, everyone. Get out there and show your full love.
Wow. Thank you, Steve. Holy cow. Great song. Great song. Pretty much did my talk for me. So thank you, Steve. Oh, so great. We are so fortunate. Thank you so much. Steve Apperson, my friends. So if you tell yourself the universe is against you, you got to stop lying to yourself. If you tell yourself you were born in sin, a mistake, you're dumb, you're weak, you're without power or abilities, stop lying to yourself. If you tell yourself your DNA is your destiny, really, stop lying to yourself. Dr. David Walker, one of my mentors, wrote in his book, You Are Enough, excuses are deadly, he says. They don't injure our desires, they kill them because they replace them. If you have an excuse as to why you are not demonstrating greater good in your life, that's the reason you haven't. You have an excuse. What's your excuse? Everybody's got an excuse. What lie have you told yourself about yourself? Do you know you are sacred? You are sacred. Do you see yourself as that? Sacred is defined as something that is from the divine. It's an idea or a condition that is both inviolable and sacrosanct. It doesn't go away, it just is. You, my friends, were sacred before you started using this body you're in right now. You're sacred during the time you use this body you're in right now, and will continue when you're done using this body you're in right now. You're sacred because everything is sacred. Not just in a religious sense. I know sacred has a very religious connotation, but in a what a crazy, miraculous thing this universe is sense. You know, that energy, there's this energy, and it creates all these different things, these beautiful flowers, yourself, all these other selves, your dog, your cat, the trees. It's the essence of you that is divine. The essence of you is sacred. Trees, flowers, birds, sacred. The wind, the stars, the sunlight falling upon our faces, sacred. How our bodies work, how we become us. Remember that out of 200 million sperm, only one gets there where it needs to get, and only one takes the cake, or makes the cake, I guess is more proper. All of this is divine. All of this is miraculous. All of this is sacred. There was a great tweet last week from Gordana Bharat, and she said, if we only knew how the universe really works, we wouldn't just believe in miracles, we would expect, respect, and collect them in our hearts 1,000,000 times a day. Isn't that fabulous? If we only knew how the universe really works, we wouldn't just believe in miracles, we would expect, respect, and collect them in our hearts 1,000,000 times a day. And she continued with, life is a wonder, love is magic, you are a miracle. When we see something as sacred, it's no longer taken for granted, right? Appreciation and gratitude come into play. When we see something as sacred, you treat it with respect and love, grateful for your connection and communion with he, she, it, them, yourself. It doesn't get tossed in an actual or a proverbial trash can or put just any old place. It's handled with care. You are sacred. And so you no longer feel like it's a burden, but a gift when something is sacred. Devotion and love are bestowed upon it, and there's no struggle to get through the experience. Like a job. Some people feel their job is a struggle to get through every day. There's no joy in that. Without joy, that job needs to go. You're not respecting your sacredness. Because when you do, you start to see the goodness and you treat it, them, or yourself better. With nutritional food, with sunlight, with laughter, with love, with exercise, with respect, with constructive self-talk, positive energy, etc., etc., etc. You move through and around things that are sacred with awe and wonder, knowing where it comes from. It comes from the divine. And so then we applaud the magical creation. The magical creation of that which we are a part of, you are a part of. Dr. Walker said in the chapter Discovering the Sacred, we can't make ourselves sacred, and we can't keep ourselves from being sacred. We can only become aware that we are sacred. Like I said, everything is sacred. And yet, nothing is sacred unless you make it so. You are automatically enough. All of us, we are automatically enough. Spiritually perfect, whole, and complete right now. Don't have to add, don't have to subtract. You're it. And your superpower, our superpower is choice. Choice to keep or lose what at one time seemed sacred, maybe not intentionally, but it seemed sacred because of the way you used this idea, or you practice it as sacred, but now it no longer serves you. So you have the choice, it's your superpower, to have the choice to keep it or get rid of it. That idea, that belief, that thought. Like the following lies. Here's a bunch of lies that we can lose. If I could just X, then my life would be amazing. What's your X? Getting married? Getting laid? Getting a raise? Buying a new car? A new house? A new pet? Maybe flossing more often? Is that your hex? You're smart enough to know that no one single goal is going to ever solve your happiness delays. Your happiness delays. We delay our own happiness. Nothing happening out here does it. We do it by our reaction to, our acceptance of, or our non-acceptance of what's going on. Maybe you get this lie. Do you use this lie? I'm a very busy person. That excuse. I'm a very busy person. Well, sorry, I have to call BS on that BS, on that belief system. You want to start a business, you want to get six-pack abs or whatever, become an expert at this or that. Don't lie and say you don't have time. You can make the time or understand and accept that you aren't ready yet to commit to that time that it might take. Stop making excuses. Don't lie to yourself. Or what about the, if I say or do such and such, people will think I'm stupid. I know that one. I've had that going through my head before. It's awful. It's awful. It's so, well, it's not feeling sacred about yourself, but it's like a big weight, you know. The whole world, the whole universe is on your shoulders for just that moment. It's just so wearing. You know what happens? You know what happens when I hear that in my head? What I do? As I remember the title of this Terry Cole Whitaker book, What You Think of Me is None of My Business. What you think of me is none of my business. Or maybe you have this lie going on. If you're thinking, if I could just say or do this or that, then he, she, it, they will finally change. Well, that's not impossible, but A, it's not your job to fix them, and 2, it usually never works that way because people only change when they are ready to change, not when you want them to. Maybe possibly you've got the everything is great or everything sucks blues. Both are lies. Yeah, I know. What? Both are lies? What do you mean both are lies? Everything is great? How can that be a lie? Now, everything, let me explain. Everything doesn't suck. Obviously, everything does not suck. But if you constantly think everything is great, it is very possible you might be hiding behind what they call the spiritual bypass. That no matter what is happening, good or bad, it is the perfect manifestation of your beliefs. Now, wait a minute. Yes, that is true. I teach that probably every week. Your beliefs turn into your manifestations. I think I already said that in the prayer this morning. But though that it is true, it is no reason to let things just happen to or at you. Because what is your superpower? Choice. You have control. You have the ability to choose what comes through your imagination, what feelings you feel, what thoughts you think, and what beliefs you hold on to. And thus, you have control of what manifests around you. So take it. Take that control. Manifest what you want. Then there's something inherently wrong or different about me, or the I would change, but, and you can fill your rationalization right there, or I can't live without X kind of stuff. And of course, the famous, I know what I'm doing stance. I know what I'm doing. Don't tell me. All of them. Lie, 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 BS, BS, BS. 1, there's nothing inherently wrong with you. You are not your addictions, if you have any. You are not your habits, and we all have them. You are not your DNA or your history. You can and you will be able to live without him, her, they, them, it. And yet, we don't want to get so cocky about our knowledge of anything especially this teaching or any other subject, to the degree that we aren't open to learning more or healing from or evolving to our best. We need to be open at the top, as Ernest Holmes said. We need to be able to and awaken to new information. There is always new information coming. You may be a knowledgeable expert at something, but if you are not open to what's new, to what the divine wants to reveal, you are not taking hold of your sacredness, of your sacred life. See, those head trips that I was just talking about, they're mechanisms, those head trip mechanisms, whether they're projections or denials or other deceptions, they're all escape routes for the lies. They help you escape from your sacredness by using these lies. Now, sometimes these lies can become your motivation. I totally get that, because a divine urge may show up and may be telling you to be more, live more, express more deeply, to transform and transcend your present circumstances, education, success. And when that happens, have at it. Use your sacredness, use your superpower to have at it. Take what might have been a lie and use it as motivation to hear the truth, to hear the wisdom for the next adventure. It's okay to want more. It's okay to have more. The lie is that your present circumstances make you less than. When you start with the idea that you're less than, then you are stuck in the lie that you're not sacred. It's not less than that you start with. It's more that you're going to. Focus on what you're going to. And learn to enjoy where you are. Enjoy the challenge or of the pursuit of the next adventure. Enjoy that. Relish what might seem like a bit of a chase. Relish that and enjoy the journey. Enjoy the learning. Enjoy the evolving, seeing it as a sacred adventure, as the divine revealing itself in you, as you, for you. Remember, principle is never bound by precedent. See, we all have a tendency to slip into statistics and probability theories. Even when we think we have clarity about our vision or our purpose, we start to view the vision through the past. And it's okay. Learning is good. Not repeating mistakes is great. However, don't let such a perspective limit you from stepping into a whole new experience of possibility. Add to your vision work, your imagination, feeling, action work, with a mystical glimpse of the infinite possibilities. These are practical movements that we make, supported by this spiritual, even mystical idea. That's what supports it. That's what makes it more magical, more sacred. When we see them, feel them, allow these mystical glimpses of the infinite possibilities of the universe to urge each and every one of us, to urge ourselves into the expression of our next adventure. If it is a destructive thought, I've said this before, if it is a destructive thought, it's a lie. Don't listen to it. If it is a constructive thought, it comes from the universal power, and we should awaken to its wisdom and allow it to speak through and as us. You see, to embody the divine, we must stop lying to ourselves about being less than, about being not capable of, and other such nonsense. It's nonsense. You're not less than because you don't know something. That is, at best or at worst, that is just the divine presence telling you, go learn more. You're not less than, you need to learn more. As Dr. Walker taught, we're not trying to cause something to happen to make us feel like we're enough. Quite the opposite. We're using our enoughness as the foundation upon which we satisfy our own creativity. That quote in that book is highlighted, arrowed, and starred in my copy of the book. So stop the excuses, stop the lies, stop the deceptions, the inaccuracies, and the justifies. Stop resisting with insisting on a falsehood. If you insist on this lie that I have to be, or I have to know, or I have to this, that, or another, if you insist on that lie, that falsehood, then you are resisting your good. You're even resisting your sacredness. As Florence Scovel Shinn wrote in The Game of Life and How to Play It, a great book, resistance is hell, for it places man or woman in a state of torment. A state of torment. My friends, you are enough. Right here, right now, wherever you are, however you are. You always have been enough. You always will be enough. And you are a sacred being living a life right now. Take hold of that. Take hold of your sacredness so you can get cracking on the next adventure. Because my friends, I know, just like me, you've got new adventures to unfold. Have at it. Thank you so much. Namaste. Let us place our hands on our hearts and together declare our love offering blessing. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you for your blessed love offerings. So part of the announcements today will be, and Gary didn't give it away. It's okay. It's out in the open, so it's okay. Is that starting August 8th, we are coming back in person. And in order to do that, we need some additional funds. So if you have a sacred connection to our vision, to vibrate at the speed of the divine, and to reveal that divinity in you, if you have a connection with what we bring in these Sunday celebrations and in our classwork and the affirmative incantations, et cetera, then please support us a little extra so that when we step into our in-person services, once again, we shall be supported financially by our community. And I appreciate everyone who continues to donate and support this vision, this center, and my ministry and your life. And please continue to do so and just step into a little extra so that we can have a foundation of solidness, of concretizing our vision in our new space. And speaking of which, Tag Studio. That is the hint. Tag Studio. Starting August 8th, we will be back. We're going to be a little closer to the Burbank area. It's sort of right in between North Hollywood and Burbank. The other clue I'll give you this week is 10 blocks from Porto's. For those who live in the Los Angeles area, especially in the San Fernando Valley, you'll know that bakery and restaurant starting August 8th. That's all I'm going to speak about that. That's our announcements this morning. Where are we on social media? Watch this. You'll find out. We're also on TikTok. I'm on TikTok, and every week after our Sunday celebration, I go on TikTok and record the Affirmative Incantation. So that's another way you can step into that every day for the next week, every morning and every evening, to repeat that Affirmative Incantation into your heart, not just in your head, but into your heart. So you can go on TikTok, the New Thought Guy TikTok page, and you will find the Affirmative Incantation, as well as it is written in the description for today's broadcast, and will be in your e-blast tomorrow or Tuesday when I get that put together with the talk. So as you see on the bottom, we have production credits rolling, showing you where all the information for our video videos have come from. And of course, we want to give a special thanks to Steve Apperson, who is the director for our broadcasts and will continue to be the director of our broadcasts even when we go back in person starting August 8th, remember, at Tag Studios. And Steve will be back as soon as we're completed with our closing prayer, which there he is. Yes, Gary's still here. I'm asking Gary to join me for that in just a moment. There'll be another song called Strength of the Truth from Steve Apperson, and that's how we'll close out our broadcast today. So until then, let me bring the Reverend Gary Altman back, and him and I will do what they call a round robin, although with two people, I don't know if we still call it that, but that's okay. I'll give it a start. I'm going to hand it over to Reverend Gary after I get things going, and he'll hand it back to me, and we'll then close with and so it is, and adieu, and you'll hear some music, and then we'll see you next week. Okay, so here we go. Close your eyes if it's comfortable for you, and take a deep, slow breath through your nose. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Oh, the kids are playing next door. Love it. And let it out through your mouth. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We like those slow breaths. We like to slow everything down, because in this slowing of everything down, we become more and more aware that there is one mind, one presence in this universe, a power, a sacred power, a divine power that not only is above, around, below, through, and as us, but is us. We are that power incarnate. We are that power. There is that power called Gary. There is that power called Jay. There is that power called Steve and Caressa and Barbara and PJ and Phil and John and Susie. All individualize that power right here, right now. And each of us are sacred in that divine power revealing here and now. And in this power, in this presence, in this beauty and this love, I hand over this affirmative prayer to Reverend Gary to move us forward.
And anchored in this power. This whole service, this whole morning has brought us to this very moment right here where we have recognized, as Jay so clearly did through his words, that we are indeed powerful and we are anchored in spirit together as a community, together as a world. We move forward through this day, through the rest of the week, through the rest of our lives with this solid connection to that internal beingness, that sameness that runs throughout us, that makes us equal, that makes us share this world perfectly, because then we have the opportunity to individualize it and express it. We move forward and forward. Our steps are with ease and grace. We are creating prosperity for ourselves, creating prosperity, health, wonderful relationships for ourselves and for the world as we move through it, supported by each and every one. Thank you, Jay, for your beautiful words this morning, for your talk. Thank you, Steve, for your song once again. I'm so grateful, and I'll pass right over to Jay.
And so in this passing, in this gratitude, in this appreciation, we know the truth. We live the truth. We are each sacred right here, right now. Nothing more has to be done. Nothing more has to be said. We are sacred right here and right now. We live the truth. We be the truth, that we are a choice. And in this choice, we bring forth into our lives our greatest good, whatever that looks like. Whether it's in money, in our love life, in our relationships with other people at work or at play, in our body temple, whatever that is. We bring forth the truth. The truth is we have peace of mind if we decide upon it. The truth is we are sacred beings individualizing that divine power. We bring forth the truth in gratitude and an appreciation and knowing that the universe listens, the universe hears, the universe manifests. Right here, right now, forevermore, we live and be that truth. As together we say, and so it is. Ashe, hallelujah, amen. Thank you so much, my friends. I leave you with this great song, Strength of the Truth, by Steve Apperson. Have a most fabulous week, and we'll see you next Sunday. Namaste.
Namaste.
I saw the red light. Here we go, all of it. Good morning, everybody. A little rock and roll edge for a Sunday morning. It's time to really look around you, realize exactly how and what you feel. Find yourself, how you think is what will guide you to hold your peace with the strength of living the truth. It's time to pay real close attention, realize the full cause and effect. The strength of the truth. of the truth. Living the strength of the truth. Believing the strength of the truth. Bobby Yost on the backbeat drums. William Lindbergh on the beautiful guitar. Stevie Me all in between.